All right, welcome back to Channel 7, guys. Today I'm just going to shoot from the hip a little bit and just talk about some things that I've been wanting to talk about. I think the main thing is perennial philosophy. This was an idea brought about by Aldous Huxley. This was the original philosophy, or the god of antiquity, if you will, where when we look back at the spiritual leaders in history, like Jesus or Buddha, and you look across many different religions, whether it be Hinduism or Buddhism or Taoism, and even Christianity, where heaven is from within, or we are at one with the Tao, there seems to be a common thread that attaches everything in a way that we can feel if we're attuned to it, for one, and is the ultimate reality. In Hinduism, I think this would be like the Atman. So what I'm saying is the ancient philosophers and ancient philosophies have taught us that there is an underlying theme that connects everything, that connects all philosophies and religions. And this is within the realm of knowing thyself. Socrates said, know thyself, and that knowing thyself is the first step to wisdom. When we look back at the past at ancient philosophers and ancient mystics, or, Jesus and Buddha, Jesus at a young age was in the town center, very knowledgeable of universal and spiritual paths. And what I really think and understand and feel of all this is that these ancient thinkers knew themselves. They knew thyself. They know. And that knowing is that we're actually a part of this whole universe. We're actually at one with it. We are the universe observing itself. In this way, I feel that we're all connected and we're all having the same consciousness. We all feel this. We all know this at some level. Some of us are more attuned than others, and some of us are on different levels of understanding than others. That doesn't make anyone right or wrong. We're all just having this human experience together. And I think that the more that we see that we're alike and that we actually are on the same wavelength, whether you notice it or not, I think are the first steps to understanding humanity and understanding the reality of peace and love and harmony and well-being. Even if two parties don't agree on things all the time, they can at least agree on a course of action in a peaceful way. And I think that's where, in our history of humanity, when, like after World War II and after big wars, there were times of peace and prosperity. So with all that being said, I think it's important that we know ourselves. Those of you who feel like you've been through a spiritual awakening, be careful of the spiritual ego that could build of that. Things like we go through second awakenings as people. The first awakening is kind of shedding the ego. And then the second awakening is understanding that there could be a spiritual ego there that also needs to be shed. And then we're just in an area of being and being present. Being present in the moment. There was also a great Japanese warrior who understood the idea of knowing yourself and knowing your opponent. I'll find his name later. It was a Japanese name, but the 5 rings, he wrote the 5 rings. So it's just amazing how humans of antiquity were able to all tap into a superpower. And that superpower lies within them. And I think there have been many philosophers and people over time who have noticed this and know this and know these things to be true. And today in the practices of psychology, psychiatry, Carl Jung and whatever, or whoever modern philosophers and psychologists there are, you can even see that evidence of connectivity within those current practices today. So I very much believe that the science of antiquity and the science of modern day also ring true. So many people want to divide everything. The original idea of the devil was actually, to divide, was divider. So what I'm saying is science and religion, all these things, they're all the same. All religions are actually all the same, as we spoke about in Perennial Philosophy. So when you can actually see nature for what it is, and you can, as funny as that sounds, talk to a plant and understand that talking to this plant is like talking to yourself, and the roots of this plant go into the earth, and the sun that shines and does the photosynthesis on this plant is also the same sun that you're getting your energy from, and that you're exhaling what the plant breathes in, and the plant is exhaling what you breathe in. There's a remarkable connection there. That's just in the physical sense. When you get into more of a spiritual sense and a spiritual vibe, you can find unlimited connections. You can find infinite connections in the spiritual realm, in a realm where everything is one, united as a Tao, as the heaven within is also without. So those are the vibes that I've been on, guys. And it's amazing when you can know yourself. I've been through challenges myself. I know how it is. And I hope that some of what I'm saying is resonating with some of you. We've all been through challenges in life. Life is full of challenges. And when we're able to get up out of those and become a better person, understand more, know yourself more, therefore knowing others more, is such a remarkable thing for us to observe. And I think we should know these things about ourselves and be humble about ourselves and fair to others. And it's difficult to be non-judgmental. I know it's difficult to understand other people and know what they've been through sometimes. We have ancestral trauma and generational trauma within families, where families don't even know how to communicate with each other anymore because they never started communication properly in the first place. So now that you've learned to communicate and that you've learned to keep it chill and have a cohesive conversation with others, there are enlightened states of mind on the other end of that. So go out there, keep uniting, keep inspiring, and keep surfing the waves of life with a Zen mindset.